Hey there, movie buffs! Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of cinema. Today, we've got a special treat for you, a rundown of the top 10 drama movies of 2023 that you absolutely cannot miss. So grab some popcorn, settle in, and let's dive into the world of captivating storytelling and emotional roller coasters. Starting off our list at number 10, we have Priscilla. Just a year after Baz Luhrmann's Elvis biopic, Priscilla provided a new lens into the mythology of the king of rock and roll. The film is told from the perspective of Priscilla Presley, examining their tumultuous relationship and the dangerous mix of youth, love, and fame. There's no one better to handle such a story than Sofia Coppola, one of the generation's most sensitive writers/directors. Priscilla immerses the viewer equally in the dreamlike romance as it does in the darker power imbalance. It's one of the year's most subtle masterpieces that lingers with its audience.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Coming in at number 9 is 1001. 1001 is a remarkable directorial debut from filmmaker A.V. Rockwell, and features one of the year's best performances from Teyana Taylor. Taylor stars as the single mother Inez, who raises her young son, Terry, outside the foster care system to ensure that he has the best upbringing. Unfortunately, this choice has consequences once Terry grows up. The film serves as both a tribute to the power of single parents and a critique of the foster care system. While 1001 does not embellish its characters' everyday existence, Rockwell crafts a vibrant, exciting depiction of New York that makes the city itself feel like a character. Although the film deals with serious issues, there's also a lot of heart, humor, and honesty that comes from seeing Inez raise her child on her own terms.
Terry, just let me see your eyes so I know you're not mad at me. I'm staying out of trouble this time.
Next up at number 8, we have Tori and Lokita. Brothers Luc Dardenne and Jean-Pierre Dardenne grew to become two of the most influential Belgian filmmakers, and continue to tackle timely and relevant matters even 20 years after their breakthrough movie, Rosetta. In Tori and Lokita, they turn their eyes to the young and dispossessed through the journey of a young boy and a teenager who traveled alone from Africa and must struggle to adapt to the hardships of exile. There's a lot of beauty here, but a lot of anger and fear too. Tori and Lokita might be the Dardenne brothers' less subtle movie, and rightfully so. There's no way around the exhaustion and frustration that envelopes these two main characters in an agonizing longing. But the moving bond they form pays off in a sweet, tear-jerking conclusion.
Pourquoi ils veulent pas me donner mes papiers, Tori?
Ils ne veulent pas de nous.
Taking the number 7 spot is Air. Air isn't as good as some of Ben Affleck's best-directed movies, though it's still one of the year's most fun and entertaining drama films. The movie is built around its script and performances, with Matt Damon and supporting actors Viola Davis, Chris Tucker, Jason Bateman, and Chris Messina given room to thrive with fast-paced, witty dialogue. Centered around Michael Jordan's industry-changing sneaker deal with Nike, Air captures the swagger of 80s basketball culture. It's not the most inventive film of the year, but it deserves all the credit for its clever, straightforward screenwriting expertise.
I can tell them the one thing the other companies can't compete with. Our basketball division is terrible.
At number 6, we have Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon was certainly one of 2023's most anticipated movies, and stirred controversy way before its release. Objections about its runtime, and Scorsese's decision to tell such a shocking true story from the perspective of the bad guys were all over the place. But they all ceased when audiences finally got to see what Scorsese held up his sleeve. Killers of the Flower Moon recounts the tragic killings of the Osage tribe in the 1920s, and the birth of the FBI. It's an ambitious crime thriller that delves deep into the evil nature of men and the roots of white privilege in a patriarchal society. It might be the most haunting movie of the year, but Scorsese sure nails his case.
You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
Moving on to number 5, we have American Fiction. American Fiction tells the story of a black novelist whose work isn't deemed black enough. In this context, he decides to expose all the hypocrisies of the publishing industry under a pseudonym, ultimately embodying hypocrisy itself through his new, provocative persona. American Fiction is an absolute crowd pleaser. It's charming, funny, and earned a deserved People's Choice Award at the Toronto Film Festival. However, it has its share of strong dramatic moments as well, all of which work due to Jeffrey Wright's vibrant, Oscar-worthy performance. Every frame of the movie is filled with irony, yet the social commentary lingers once the tragedy behind its comical appeal is disclosed.
What really struck me was that too few books were about my people. Where are our stories? Where's our representation?
Coming in at number 4 is Anatomy of a Fall. Most people were shocked to see France snubbing Anatomy of a Fall in its Oscar submission, but that won't stop Sandra Huller from being remembered for the most awe-inspiring performance of 2023. In the film, she plays Sandra, a mother suspected of killing her husband when he dies under mysterious circumstances. Torn between a failed marriage, a brilliant career, and her responsibilities as a mother, Sandra's entire soul is put on trial. Shying away from the path of traditional courtroom dramas, it isn't the verdict that matters here, but rather how Sandra's son perceives the tragedy that fell upon his family.
I just want you to know one thing. I'm not a monster.
Taking the number 3 spot is Past Lives. Of all the dramatic movies released in 2023, none have proved as universally relatable as Past Lives. The movie is centered around 2 childhood friends, Nora and Hae Sung, who have drifted apart after Nora moves from South Korea to Canada to, in her adult years, the United States. They reunite decades later to discuss love, destiny, and the passing of time, wondering how things would have been different had they stayed together. Like a modern Casablanca, Past Lives is a shout-out to beautiful bonds lost with time. The unspeakable distance between the main characters is perceptible even when they're standing right next to each other. However, the love they feel for each other is nearly tangible.
There's a word in Korean, 인연. It means providence or fate.
At number 2, we have The Iron Claw. The Iron Claw is directed by Sean Durkin. Actors are Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Stanley Simons, Maura Tierney. Zac Efron has been searching for prestige roles for years, and he's finally found success with A24's The Iron Claw, a biographical sports drama about the Von Erich brothers. Jeremy Allen White and Harris Dickinson also star in the film, delivering fantastic physical performances. It's one of the most emotionally driven, tragic sports films ever made, offering a perfect blend of humor and heartbreak.
People said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us with God.
And finally, taking the number 1 spot on our list of best 2023 drama movies is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is Christopher Nolan's magnum opus, an ambitious historical drama about one of the most controversial war figures of all time, J. Robert Oppenheimer, the genius mind behind the development of the atomic bomb, the weapon that forever changed the course of humanity. Less a war tale and more of a complex character study about coming to terms with one's own destructive nature, Oppenheimer is a 3-hour-long epic that effectively delves deep into every aspect of Oppenheimer's life, from the making of a genius to the collapse of his career and, As the powerful ending implies, the whole world.
Have a 12-month head start.
18.
How could you possibly know that?
And there you have it, folks, the top 10 drama movies of 2023 that are sure to captivate and inspire audiences around the world. Which of these films are you most excited to see? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe for more movie recommendations and reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.